We begin here at 6 o'clock with breaking news this morning. NBC News has confirmed that an arrest has been made in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. During an interview with Fox News this morning, President Trump said, quote, "I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him." This comes just hours after police released these images last night of the suspect. Charlie Kirk was assassinated while speaking Wednesday at Utah Valley University. Thanks for joining us here on Sunrise. I'm Drew Carney.
And I'm Corey Johnson. That suspect has not been named, and law enforcement officials have yet to formally announce any arrest. While appearing on Fox News, President Donald Trump said, quote, "I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job." President Trump said someone close to the suspect had seen the photos distributed by officials yesterday, then reached out to the father of that individual. Then, according to the president, that father convinced the suspect to go with them to a U.S. Marshal's office where they were turned over to police. NBC News has also learned that the suspect is believed to be 22 years old and from Utah.
State and federal officials will speak at a news conference here at any moment. We will take that press conference as soon as it starts. Expected speakers include the governor of Utah and FBI Director Kash Patel. Meantime, tributes to Kirk are happening all across the country. In Vancouver, people showed up to Esther Short Park for a vigil to remember Charlie Kirk, who we again said was assassinated while speaking to a crowd at Utah Valley University. People lit candles for the 31-year-old ally of President Trump and the co-founder of Turning Point USA.
And we'll continue to cover this story as we learn more details. You can follow the latest here on the air at KGW.com and on our free streaming TV app, KGW Plus.
All right, break from the headlines for just a moment as we take this live look from our Wells Fargo Skycam, pointing at downtown Portland, Tilghman Crossing, right there in the center of your screen. Rod Hill, meanwhile, in the Weather Center with a look at our forecast.
Yeah, a pretty vivid shot of the clouds there, guys, up top. So this morning, once again, like yesterday, solid marine clouds up and down the valley, including you folks in Marion County. There's the state capitol in Salem, 59 degrees. Here's a different camera in Portland, the Rose City camera, looking across the downtown cityscape with the cloudiness, 61. So yesterday, had doubts that we would clear. Turns out for the most part we did not. But today everything points to the fact that once we get into the afternoon hours, we will start to see the sunshine. So clouds mainly dry, 59 out the door. Reminder, when we have these morning clouds, you can always pick up a patch of drizzle. 66 degrees at lunchtime. We'll look for some breaks and then sunshine, and about 74 when the kids get out of school and say, hey, it's the weekend. Here's Chris.
I know, they're looking forward to that. All right, we pick it up with a traffic alert on the west side. A lot of lights here, so here's the deal. Westbound Beaverton-Hillsdale Highway right now is blocked just east of Shattuck. Portland Fire and Rescue on the scene of an early morning house fire here. The good news is that they've got the fire out, no reported injuries. And how about this, a little more good news. There's a little cat rescue. Thank you, PDX Fire, for your excellent work there. The traffic impact, though, again, westbound Beaverton-Hillsdale Highway for now. Blocked just east of Shattuck. The freeway drive, this is Interstate 84, the Banfield out near 82nd Avenue. Traffic is still zipping right along on the freeways, and your trip out of Clark County is better than a speed limit commute on both I-5 and I-205. Guys?
All right, thank you, Chris. Hundreds of workers in the Vancouver School District could soon walk off the job after they overwhelmingly approved a strike last night.
And if those workers hit the picket lines, it could close schools for more than 20,000 students. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from Vancouver Public Schools District headquarters. So Thomas, when could this strike begin?
Well, guys, we don't know exactly what date it will begin, but we know it won't be today. Instead, bargaining will continue between the school district and those striking workers like para-educators and technology specialists. They've been negotiating for a new contract since April. They've also been working without a contract since it expired at the end of August. And there's a couple of big things they're looking for: higher pay and increased staffing levels. They tell me it's been really difficult to retain staff on their current pay. That means there's often just not enough para-educators or other staff members in school buildings to adequately look after kids.
We don't have enough supervision on the playground. Sometimes we have 2 paraeducators for 4 grades. Accidents happen. We had some pretty severe accidents that happened at our school, and that is a #1 priority of a lot of the instructional paras that do recess duty is safety.
In a statement to families, Vancouver Public Schools says they remain hopeful that an agreement can be reached and that a strike will not be needed. They add they wish they had an agreement but are in a difficult position because school funding has not kept pace with the cost of running schools. Still, there is a silver lining here for families up in the Vancouver School District. The district says that the union has given them assurances that if there is a strike, they'll give them ample time and ample notice to prepare. That not only helps schools, but those families if school closures do happen. Drew, Corey.
All right, thanks, Thomas. Well, students in the Evergreen School District are expected to return to classes today. This after the union representing classified workers voted to ratify a new deal with the district. That ratification puts an end to a walkout that has delayed the start of the school year for more than 2 weeks. The district says it'll release more information soon about the plan to make up those 12 missed school days.
The teacher strike in Le Center also appears to be over after their union and the Le Center School District reached a tentative agreement yesterday. Le Center teachers have been on strike since last Wednesday. They'll meet today to vote on this new offer, so that means no school again today, but assuming this deal is ratified, Le Center kids will be back in the classroom on Monday. Meanwhile, a teacher and another staff member at a Beaverton preschool have joined a lawsuit against the Trump administration that aims to keep immigration enforcement away from schools.
That's right. That lawsuit follows an incident in July when ICE agents detained a man while he was dropping his son off at school. Dashcam video from that incident showed ICE agents confront the man, then break his car window. They arrested him as he dropped off his son at Guidepost Montessori Preschool. Now, that incident sparked outrage among the teachers who say it's exactly what they want to avoid. Now, members of the Beaverton preschool community, along with 2 national teacher unions, have joined a federal lawsuit against the Trump administration. They're seeking to protect schools alongside churches and places of worship from immigration enforcement.
This is beyond just the immigrant communities. It's about everybody's safety, everybody's families.
For nearly 3 decades, immigration agents avoided sensitive locations, but that's changed under the Trump administration. Attorneys argue the shift has left children and teachers living in fear, with some students staying home altogether. The Department of Homeland Security says arrests near schools are rare and require special approval. Well, if you're in Multnomah County, you may remember getting a test alert in the last month. It was meant as a test of the county's emergency warning system after a series of natural disasters, including the deadly flooding in Texas and wildfires in California. Now we're getting a look at the results of that testing. Surveys show 91% of recipients report they were within the county when they received that alert, meaning there was effective localization. The alert worked across different devices and more than 35 cell phone carriers. The report also found 2 primary reasons for people not receiving it were phone settings that allow them to opt out of certain alerts or having their Do Not Disturb turned on.
All right, here's a look at the center of Multnomah County. Downtown Portland by way of our Rose City Sky Cams. City lights shining bright here in the 6 o'clock hour, Rod Hill. Let's get to that Friday forecast before you dip into the weekend forecast.
All right. Well, today, the difference is yesterday when we talked about all these clouds, which are showing up again. This is from the Wells Fargo camera. Wasn't sure we'd clear out. We didn't. Today, everything points to the fact that we get into early afternoon, we will clear out. So later today, especially this evening, your weather looks to be really, really nice. We are starting off 61 degrees. I remind you, these low cloud mornings can often, maybe not often, but can always produce the chance of patchy drizzle. Didn't have reports of that yesterday, and so far no reports of that this morning. 59 down in Westland, 59 out in Hillsborough, and 59 degrees in Beaverton against a light wind, cloudy start to our day. 53 in Silverton, a little bit cooler, 60 degrees up in Aurora this morning. Futurecast shows, here we are at 1 o'clock with the cloudiness mostly starting to get the heck out of here. That would leave us, again, a nice second half of our day. Weather map, 60s at the beach with clearing also expected, 70s up and down I-5. The one chance of shower activity today looks to be spotty and out toward the blues. Central Oregon, you are back to a dry forecast. Madras 80 and Bend today 77 degrees. And here's that weekend 7-day. So with the afternoon sun coming, today 74. Tomorrow could be some early fog pockets, otherwise sunny and warmer. You'll notice it, 82. Now you wake up Sunday, cloudy, scattered showers in the area. We stay that way. Scattered showers continue. 69 the high. The rain chances end Sunday night. I have us now dry on Monday, and we still show some 80s and sunny weather as we get rolling into next week, and that is your forecast.